What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Auto Auction Rebuilds. Today, we're back with my super cheap 2004 Dodge Ram SRT-10, the Viper truck. We're back because I had to order some parts for it. I noticed pretty quickly after winning the high bid for what I thought was a really cheap price of $18,000 from a dealership that was trying to sell it to the public for $25,000. I thought I scored huge on this thing. It didn't take me long to realize this truck had a problem. Being sold on a red light, it could have been a number of things. It could have been anything and everything. Thankfully, I think I figured out what it is, although I'm not 100% sure yet. One of the first things I noticed about the truck is that these hoses were swollen. That is no good, and it's a very common issue on the Viper trucks and the Viper cars. Oil leaks, another big problem. They tend to come from oil cooler lines, power steering lines, and valve cover gaskets. Those tend to be the main places you experience oil leaks from. It does not appear to have an oil cooler line that's leaking, so I'm torn between whether I have a leak from the power steering or a leak coming from the valve covers. But I'm going to grab a light, and I want to show you guys something, and I want to see what you think, because just to be safe, I bought everything. But I'm hoping we don't have to do everything. If you look down here, you're going to see a whole lot of oil all over. See it soaked on the exhaust manifold? You also see it all over the spark plug wires. And if you look down here, boy, it's a hot mess down here, guys. Take a look at all of that mess down there. Yep, that ain't good. So I figure either we have a power steering line that is leaking and blowing power steering fluid up all over the exhaust manifold, or we have leaking valve cover gaskets that's pouring oil down all over the suspension. It looks like it's been leaking for a while, or maybe we have a leaky oil fill cap. Although I know that's not it because I put, oh, it's broken. That's very broken. That's extremely broken. Oh, tell me it's not just... I took one of the O-rings for my air conditioning. Yeah, this was dumb. Oh, it's already like... It's kind of dried out. This is for AC. I stretched it and I made it fit, thinking that maybe we had a leak. Maybe we didn't. I did keep the old one in here. I've only driven this thing probably not more than 250 miles because the oil leak concerned me so much. And one of the things I never figured out is where is it coming from? I really don't know. So the first thing I want to do is I want to check the power steering fluid and see if it's low, because if it's leaking from the power steering, well, I mean, the power steering should be low. And the engine is cold and it's sitting right where the cold mark is. Let me dry this off and check it again. All right, let's pull this back out. And it's fresh. You see how pink that is? That is good looking fluid, and it is sitting exactly on the cold line. So even though it appears low on camera, the engine's cold and it is sitting exactly where it's supposed to be sitting with the engine cold. So next, I say let's check the engine oil level and see what's going on with it. Maybe it's a little low, because I think that will tell us a whole lot more. I'm crossing my fingers right now that this is engine oil, and it's as simple as a valve cover gasket. All right, let's plug her back in, and let's cross our fingers that it's low, because if not, then I don't know what fluid this is, right? Let's take a look. Oh. Are you serious? There's nothing, there's nothing on the dipstick. There's literally nothing on the dipstick. Okay, it's oil. No doubt. It's for sure leaking oil. Now, one of the good things about this truck is recently it had quite a bit of work done to it, including a new rear main seal. So that was replaced. I'm pretty sure the head on this side got replaced. We have head bolts down here that look brand new, and it looks like all this oil is coming from up here. So I suspect It's the driver's side valve cover that's leaking. That's unfortunate because if you look at the passenger side valve cover, look how easy and accessible that is. So much room for activities over here. When you get to this side, you have things like the brake master cylinder is in the way. You've got vacuum hoses. You've got the brake booster in the way. It's a little more complicated, but I don't think it's that big of a deal. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start by removing what appear to be a bunch of little tins. And, oh yeah, those are just covered in oil. I'm going to start taking all of these out. We're going to... Oh yeah, that's going to be... There we go. Let's just get this vacuum. There we go. I want to get that vacuum hose off. We can get it out of the way, kind of tied up where it's not bothering anybody. You've got like a vent tube right here that splits off onto the two valve covers. We're going to need to pull that off in the back. And it's just a matter of taking out several little 10mm bolts. And with any luck, this thing comes off and we find that we have a broken valve cover gasket, because if that's the case, it's a super easy and cheap repair. So real quick, I decided to disconnect this vent hose right here. We're just going to move this out of the way for now. And I think we should probably take this intake off. We're going to be changing, most likely in this video, if things don't take too long, we're going to change all of the hoses, including the heater hoses and the upper and lower radiator hoses that are bulging. We're going to swap those out for some silicone hoses that are going to be much, much better and last a whole lot longer. There is no room here to get this. Come on, here we go. Yeah, there is very little room under the hood of this truck. That is a big problem. Like, these hoses are, we might have to take this off. Let's see if this makes it any easier. Oh, that is on there. Oh my goodness. There we go. We have a sensor here we got to disconnect. Take that off, pull this out of the way, set it to the side. Be careful not to damage it. Let's take a look at the air filter real quick. Not too bad. Definitely in usable condition. We'll throw that to the side as well. And this gives us a little more room. All right, not too shabby. Everything under here actually looks pretty dang good. Here's something that's interesting that a lot of you probably don't know about is this cooling fan is not electric. This is actually a hydraulically driven cooling fan. It runs off of the power steering pump. Like I said, I bet most of you didn't know that. This gives us a little more access to the lower radiator hose right there. We have more access to our upper radiator hose here. This is going to make changing those hoses a lot easier. And then we have our heater hoses, which I think they both run. We're going to have to pull out this air box. Thankfully, this is easy. There's a little 10 mil right here. The air box will pop out. We should have a heater hose that's running up under here, but I don't know where it goes. One of them runs to here, over to the heater core over there, and then the other one, where does it go? It disappears. Huh. Okay, we're gonna have to pull this out and see what sits underneath it. Let's see if we can, there we go. Super easy, 1 10 mil bolt, and it pulls her right out. Now we should be able to see a little clearer where everything is going. Oh. Well, so I was wrong. We do have a leaking oil cooler line on this side, but this is not the source of the oil leak that I am concerned about. If you look down there, you can definitely see it's a little greasy, but I don't see any real signs of oil actively leaking. I mean, you can see down here where it's stained up a little bit, the inner fender liner. So, I mean, it's dribbling. I would call it seeping. It's not actually leaking yet. But, yeah, so this is interesting. I wasn't aware that we had a separate hose. We have one that goes to the water pump. We have another that goes to the oil cooler. And then another that goes from the oil cooler to where the lower radiator hose is attached. This is a problem because I don't think they gave me a hose for that, guys. This is what they gave me right here. This is what came with the kit. 2 silicone hoses. And I'll be completely honest with you, I don't know which one goes to what. They're both relatively long hoses. The heater core sits over here. So this is going to be fun. Made by, who is it, HPS? Yeah, it didn't say anything about a hose for the oil cooler. All right, let's find, what do they call, like a dead blow hammer? It's got sand in it. It's good for kind of, there you go. Give it a nice little tap without, it almost seems like there's still one in there, doesn't it? Uh-oh. It certainly does. I'm relatively certain I got everything out of here, guys. Let me double check. I knew it was going to fight me. Did you guess I left one in there? Yeah, you'd be right. There was one left. Now let's see. Oh, it just slides out. Easy. Oh, dude. Valve cover gasket shot. So where it's leaking, mostly, see if I can find any space here. Let me get a light so I can kind of show you guys a little better what's going on. So this gasket is totally flattened out. It's been crushed. The bolts were kind of tight, so somebody tried fixing this leak by torquing, over-torquing the valve cover. You can clearly see that this gasket is flat. I mean, there's nothing even sticking out anymore to stop it from leaking. And if you look real closely, you can see the oil residue exiting the valve cover onto the engine block. I mean, look how wet it is over here. This is where it's all been leaking. Really, this is not a big job. You can take a closer look over here at the engine, and you can clearly see where all of this has been leaking. You see how it just runs straight out the front of the engine? Yeah, she's running straight out the front of the engine and all over the exhaust manifold right here. I mean, you can follow the oil residue straight out of the valve cover. So I'm going to need to clean that up. I've got some, I don't remember what they call it. It's like emery cloth or, you know, one of those things. I've got it somewhere right here. Just some real nice, easy. We'll use some carb cleaner, and I'll cut me a little square off of this so I can kind of fit it around my finger, and I will just run this up and down the entirety of the valve train on this side. We'll get this all cleaned up. This would be a great time to paint these valve covers if I had paint, but I don't. So, oh, these things are, yeah. I mean, they're not the worst, but they're definitely old. They're not in very good shape anymore. Yeah, these things have seen better days. Who knows if they've ever been replaced with 170,000 miles on them. Over here, we got some brand new blue valve cover gaskets that are going to do the job of sealing this up for us. And I think I've decided on the hoses. I'm going to reach out to the company that sold these to me, and I'm going to say, hey, quick question on these heater hoses, because I have an oil cooler, and yeah, I don't even think these came with any instructions to begin with. So I'm not going to replace the heater hoses in this video. Thankfully, the heater hoses are all really nice. They're in great shape. They don't feel like they're falling apart anywhere. They feel like good, strong hoses. It's the upper and lower hose that I'm concerned about the most. There's probably a petcock on here for draining. I don't know where it is, and I'm not going to try to find it. I put a bucket under it. I'm going to release the lower hose, and it's going to make a mess, and whatever it's going to be is going to be. Now, the next question is, do we half-ass this job, and we only do this side? Since this side isn't leaking, we leave it alone? Or do we come over here and take care of this side while we're at it? You guys drop your comments below and tell me what you think, and we'll come back and decide what to do in a minute. Let's take a look at the after. Remember before, the gasket was like completely crushed, flat, flush with the valve cover. There was nothing protruding. Take a look at this. You can clearly see how much gasket sticks out all the way around this now. And where it was leaking from mostly was down here. But take a look at that. Now, I know, God, I know, this looks so bad, doesn't it? Like, this is really the time. Oh, my. Yeah, that's awful. This would be the time to clean it up. I wasn't prepared to paint these, so we could come back in another video and paint them, or we could just forget about it, put it back together, and look how nice it stays on. You can literally maneuver it around. It's got these little grooves that hold the valve cover gasket into the valve cover itself. I've cleaned everything up under here. Take a look how nice it looks. We'll probably want to get this thing out into the yard, hit it with some Super Clean, my favorite cleaning product. Maybe we'll use the foaming because it has a sticking action. It's a gelatinous like foaming type cleaner, and really just get it all over under here and then pressure wash the living hell out of this to get it cleaned up. We definitely want to refill this with oil too. It's a little bit low. And yes, we're going to go ahead and do the other side, guys. There's no way I could allow myself to only do one side and not the other. So give me a couple minutes. We'll button this back up, I should say, and then we'll move on to the other side. Don't you hate when you've been filming for like 45 minutes and you go to review your footage and you find out that you've been recording in slow-mo the whole time? Yeah, so anyway, sometimes that happens, guys. I've been under the hood of this for a couple hours, and unfortunately, everything I filmed, you guys aren't going to be able to see because it was all done in slow motion, which is going to do you absolutely no good. So I think we left off, the last clip you guys saw was, give me a minute because we're going to come back and do the other side. Well, I did the other side, and I filmed it, and you guys will never see it, but we have yeah, you guys aren't going to believe me, right? I can't even see the blue gasket, but there's a new gasket in there. I also went ahead and did the HPS silicone hoses upper, and I did the HPS silicone hoses lower. And now I'm working on doing the heater hoses, which unfortunately, it doesn't look like they sent me everything that I need because I've got the hoses detached from the heater core, which sits right back there. This one is the lower one, but there's another hose that I did not get. Let me see if I can pull this off the heater hose here and just get this thing out of here. I've made such a mess in here tonight, guys. Like, it's no joke. I've made it. It's an absolute disaster in here tonight. Come on. There we go. Okay, that goes to the heater core. That goes to the cooler. So, unfortunately, there is another hose that I did not get that goes from the cooler and it runs over to the engine. They did not give me that hose. So, that sucks. That sucks. This hose goes on top. This hose I'm going to put on the bottom, and we'll have to just we'll have to figure this out as we go. I can't even reach it. Everything on this truck requires me to literally climb on top and get myself into the engine bay, which thankfully on this truck you can do without too much of a headache. So unless I've gotten things completely mistaken, and there's every possibility that I have. Come on, this is the upper hose. We're going to move it kind of out of the way. This is the lower hose. This hose is supposed to run over. Oh, that doesn't make sense. What have we got going on here? I got freaking hoses all over the damn place here. This hose should go to the oil cooler. Okay, this hose should go here, and then I think it kind of, I don't know if it goes this way or, I think it goes under the oil cooler hose, kind of in between, like this right here. Run it in the middle. Reach over and grab it. There we go. I think that seems to be decent. I don't know. And then let's just make sure that it runs over to the heater core. This will be the lower hose. Golly, I can't reach this dang thing, guys. Wow. Ugh. Yeah, I can't. Oh my goodness. What a pain. And then this right here likes to stick me in the stomach. So anyway, I decided, screw it. Let's go ahead and do the heater core hoses while we're at it. I should have left it alone, honestly. I shouldn't have been messing with that. I should have left well enough alone. I didn't. Anyway, valve cover gaskets are done. Upper and lower hoses are done. I got to get these heater core hoses done, and then I think we can start putting it back together. Actually, I may just leave it disconnected. We'll take it outside and try to spray all this off with some super clean. It's getting late, so I don't know. And we still got to take it for a test drive. And I've got coolant just leaking all over my boxes, which is freaking great, man. I'm having a time, guys. This is a lot of fun. There's nothing I'd rather be doing on my Saturday night than this. Well, now that we've officially made a nice big mess out here, let's go ahead and try to fire it up. I'm not going to hook up the only thing that's not plugged in is the intake air temperature sensor. It is going to throw a check engine light, whatever. Yes, I have already bled the system. There's the bleeder valve right there. That took quite a while, but we got it done. Everything is tightened down. I've got all the new hoses attached, running back to the heater core. We've got the new upper, the new lower. I've got it full of coolant. There's mixed reviews. Some people say you have to use Zyrtec's GO5. Other people say this stuff is just fine. I'll be honest with you, the stuff that came out of it, if it was GO5, it should have been an orange color. That ain't orange, guys. So that ain't what was in it when I got it. So yeah, we're just gonna go with that stuff. We're gonna fire it. Ooh, no, we're gonna fire it up. I got the e-brake on. Yes. Let's turn the heater on max. Turn the air conditioner off. Let her do some circulating. Check engine light came on immediately, as we knew it would. We'll let this stuff circulate. Looking good so far. She didn't suck too much of it down. I also made sure the overflow was filled up as well. She's gonna start smoking a little bit. She's circulating good now. Here it goes. There she goes. Starting to burn all of that cleaner and stuff that we got all over the exhaust. There's all kinds of stuff. She's gonna smoke for a little while, guys. So a lot of stuff is burned off. I'm gonna go ahead and lock this down because it looks like this is getting ready to start overflowing. And last thing we need is even more of a mess in here than we've already got. I've got it. It's a disaster in here. I don't even want to know what's all underneath this truck. It's running backwards and forwards, and there's all the old stuff. I don't know. We probably shouldn't keep it. I'll just throw it away. I was gonna hold on to it because parts for this are kind of rare, but I don't know that we're gonna be able to take this thing out and pressure wash it tonight. I think it's too late. Let me see what time it is. I know it's a Saturday. Nah, man. It's after 10 o'clock on a Saturday night, so we're not gonna do that. It's not that big a deal. I can do it off camera. I'll come back tomorrow and I'll do it tomorrow. No big deal. You guys aren't gonna miss much by me pressure washing this thing. But I'm gonna let it run for a while. I'm gonna let all of this stuff burn off of it. I'm gonna make sure we don't have any leaks. That's the reason that I haven't connected all the air intake and stuff back up. I want to be able to keep an eye on that hose and the heater core hoses back there. I need to be able to see if we have any leaks. Same thing with oil. I want to make sure we're not pouring any oil out before I go and button things back up, guys. So I'm going to let it sit here and do this for probably 15-20 minutes. Let it get up to operating temperature. We'll make sure everything is good. And if it is, we'll button it up and take it for a test drive, and then we'll come back and see if she's still billowing smoke out from under the hood, because if she is, then we have another problem. All right, guys, we still have quite a bit of smoke coming from the driver's side exhaust manifold, so I think it's time to take it out and just try to burn it off. You got to remember, oil has been leaking on that thing for God knows how long, so it's going to take a while to get all that burned off. Let's check our gauges real quick. I'm going to go ahead and turn this heat off now. By the way, the heat is nice and warm, as I'd expect it to be. Temperature gauge is right where it's supposed to be. So I'm going to turn that off. Oil pressure is good. Yes, I did fill it back up with oil again. Oh, did I not push the... There we go. Let's turn the radio off. There we go. And e-brake. Let's back this thing out of here. Let's take it for a quick rip. And I'm going to cross my fingers that when we get back, it is not going to be smoking like crazy like it normally does. All right, well, moment of truth, I guess, guys. I also aired up the tires. They were about 10 PSI low. So everything should be good to go. Just a matter of getting her out on the road and crossing our fingers that that was the leak. We know it was the leak. We saw inside the valve cover. It was absolutely where the leak was coming from. You know what? I just remembered I don't have a damn tag. I don't have a tag on this truck. Maybe we shouldn't go the 10 miles, or maybe we should. What do you guys think? Should we do it? I think let's do it. As soon as this traffic goes by, we'll go do the 10-mile run. Let's just hope we don't get pulled over. Last thing I want to deal with tonight is getting pulled over. And all my tags are on other cars. So I'd have to take a tag off of one car, put it on this one, and then take it off this one, put it on that. I ain't trying to do all that, guys. Nothing under the hood is put back together yet because we're still waiting to make sure everything is good. I wanted to take it on this run and verify that that everything is okay before I go buttoning everything back up again. I'm crossing my fingers that we don't have any other leaks, and tomorrow it'll be nice and sunny out. I'll come out here and pressure wash all the oil and grime and stuff out from under the engine bay, make this thing look really, really good using my favorite product, Super Clean. In fact, come back for the next video and we'll probably go ahead and start the video out with doing a pretty good detail on the engine bay with Super Clean, assuming it's not dumping oil when we get back to the house. That's me. I keep not pushing the clutch all the way. I'm not used to this truck because I haven't been driving it. I'm not pushing the clutch all the way to the floor, and that is my fault. Let's take a look at the gauges. Again, remember I did burp the cooling system. Temperature is right on the money. All the gauges look good. Everything looks happy. Ignore the check engine light. As I said earlier, it's on because we don't have the intake air temperature sensor hooked up. The air filter is not hooked up, none of that stuff. Here's what I'm going to do, guys. I'm going to take it on the 10 mile. We've got 344.7 miles on the trip right now, and we're probably a few miles into it. We're going to get back, roll it back into the shop, and we're going to find out if this thing is still smoking like crazy, or hopefully everything has calmed down and we fixed our leak. Not gonna lie to you guys, for a minute I was a little scared. We've already been to the 5-mile mark, we've turned around, we're most of the way back. I kicked the heat on because I was getting a little chilly, and it was blowing ice cold on full blast heat. And I was like, oh no, did I get something reversed? What did I do wrong? And it took like 30 seconds. It's a little slow. When you switch this thing from cold to hot or hot to cold, it does take, 20, 30 seconds before it switches over. So I thought for sure, man, something was really, really wrong. And it's just slow. It's old, it's slow. Heater works, honestly, amazingly well. Still, all the gauges look good. I got her up into the red line twice just to really make sure that we put it to it, you know what I mean? I want to get back and find out for sure if we have any issues or not. And anytime you would lean in to the throttle, like really start revving it up, that's when you'd start smelling the oil. And I don't smell anything at all, nothing. So I'm hopeful, guys. I'm really hopeful. There's a Great Pyrenees right there. Look, we're leaning into the... we got to slow down. Speed limit goes down here. Anyway, you got to hear one nice little roar out of the old girl, man. So heater's working great. I don't smell anything funny. The gauges are all good. Everything seems to be happy. I'm going to turn this heater off now because it's a little bit too much. We should be rolling right up to the house here in a second. I'm not sure if I want to pull it back into the garage or not, but yeah, let's pull it into the garage. We got better light in there, and we'll take a look under the truck and just see what's going on. Who's ready? Boy, that made a mess. It's mad because I took my seatbelt off. There we go. All right, e-brake. It doesn't feel like the e-brake even does anything, man. If I'm being completely honest, e-brake doesn't feel like it's doing much. All right. Lights, camera, action, moment of truth. Are we smoking like crazy, or was it the valve cover gasket? You already know it's a valve cover gasket, man. Right? Right? No. There's oil all over. And it's soaked again. Everything under there is soaked again. So it wasn't, hold on, man. What the hell is going on here? What could it be? It's gotta, I'm so confused. I'm legitimately confused, guys. I know that it's oil because the power steering fluid in this is red. All right, and it's not leaking anything red. The stuff that's leaking is brown. It's literally oil. So where is it coming from? Everything over here is still fine. Could it be the oil cap? Is it possible that it's the oil cap that's causing this? I mean, I put the O-ring back on it, but could it be leaking? Because look, here's what's getting me, man. Look all over the top of this. It is shiny, soaking wet. All over the top, and then all over the exact same places again. And if you look under, it's soaking wet under the oil cap. I mean, dripping wet. Is it possible we've got a leaking oil cap? I'll be honest with you guys, I'm at a loss, man. I'm at a loss. That's discouraging. That's really discouraging. I was hoping to drive this home tonight. I haven't driven it in quite a while, so we got a nice run in with it today, but damn, man. How discouraging, right? You spend your entire evening working on something, you know, fixing everything you think is wrong with it, putting it back together, only to find out that you didn't actually fix anything. I mean, we got new hoses, that's nice. We got the new, ow, woo, those are hot. We got new silicone hoses on this bad boy, so that's good. Aside from that, though, I don't know. Well, you can't win them all, guys, you know what I mean? This is an L that I'm going to have to take for the night, unfortunately. I guess that's going to conclude this video. If you guys have any idea what's going on here, man, please drop your comments below, because this one's got me so confused. So do me a favor, if you enjoyed tonight's video, hit the thumbs up button and let me know. Consider subscribing to the channel if you're not already subscribed. And until next time, stay safe out there, everybody. I look forward to seeing you all again very soon in the next one.